Welcome to Office Hours. Today we are going to talk about form pages. This is a feature inside your quote templates that lets you collect information directly from your customer as part of the quote itself. So no extra emails or separate intake forms. Everything lives right inside of the quote. We're going to walk through a real-world example that a lot of you will relate to. That's collecting insurance claim information at the time of signing. By the end of this session, you'll know how to add a form page, build out with a disclaimer, drop downs, text fields, and have a form your customers can fill out before they even put pen to paper. So let's get into it. Why do form pages exist? Let's talk about the problem this feature actually solves. You send a quote, your customer signs it, and then there's back and forth that begins. What's your claim number? Can you send me the adjuster's name? Which insurance company to go with? This can all happen in our system via text or email, of course, but for insurance jobs specifically, you need that information before you can really get moving. Since it's almost always collected separately through the text or email, someone has to manually enter it somewhere. Form pages eliminate that step for your company. You build a form once, and every time that quote goes out, the customer fills in their insurance details right there before they sign, and you get everything you need in one shot. I'm going to show two ways to add a form page. The first is going to be through company settings and quote templates. This is the recommended route because the form gets applied globally to every quote that uses that template. You'd go to the hamburger menu icon, which everyone knows, click on company settings, which opens a new tab, and then head to quote templates. So open your template and add the form page there, which we'll go over in a minute. The second is to directly through a project quote, which is what I'll be doing for a demo today. Just to keep in mind, this only applies to the one quote, but it sort of looks the same in the template and then in the quote live. All right. So for today's demo, I'm going to use a project called Jonathan Grant. So Jonathan Grant's quote is here in the creating quote stage. In your own account, you navigate to whichever project you want to look at and what that you want to work for or work with. So I found it here because this demo account has nothing in it, but you can also use the search bar at the top here to search for a project very easily. Once the project is open, you're going to choose the quotes tab, which is at the top middle. And here's the quote. I'm going to edit it using our little pencil icon here. And in your own account, you do the exact same thing. And then what I'm going to do is add a page. And I can do from scratch or from a template. So I'm going to choose from scratch. Okay. And then my page type is going to be form. That's what we're covering today. And then I'm going to name the page insurance info and add. Okay. You see that open on the left here and a new page in the quote. And we'll click on it to get started. So form pages are built using rows and cells. A row is a horizontal section of the form, and a cell is the actual field that lives in that row. So we're going to build 5 things today. A disclaimer message so the customer knows what they're filling out. Number 2, a drop down for claim type. Number 3, a single line input for claim number. And 4, a single line input for adjuster name. 5, a multi-line input for additional notes. Let's start with the disclaimer. I'm going to click add new row. This just added our first row here. I'll title this cell important. Please, oh, please read. And I'm going to set the type to content text. This is a static field. It doesn't collect anything. It just displays text. So I'll type in a short message. Please fill out all required fields below for signing. Okay, save. Now the customer will see that message at the top of the form before filling anything out. Now let's add the next row. I'll click the plus sign, add new row. Oh, really quick. If I click the plus sign here, it's actually going to create a new cell, which we will cover, but that was not what I was trying to do. I was trying to add a new row. So here we go. Claim type, input dropdown. Okay, what do I want my dropdowns to be? Let's see. Homeowner. Ooh, the spelling. Insurance, wind damage, hail damage, other. I'm not going to put spaces between the options, just commas. Hold on, I do want to change the required ops this to yes, but this is required. Okay, so now they can get a clean drop down instead of typing freehand, and your team gets consistent data every single time. Now let's add the next rows following the same process. We're going to go add new row, and I'll add the cell claim. What was the second one I was going to do? Claim number. Right, single line cell type. Yes, that is required. I'm not going to pre-fill any content. I'm just going to say, all right, the pre-fill content, just so you know, that option is useful when you need to have information from the project automatically populate on the form. If you click on the drop down, you'll see all available variables such as contact first name, contact phone, etc. If, for example, you had the claim number added as a custom text field on the project, you could select it from the drop down to pull it in automatically. I'm not going to do this for this demo. I'm going to skip it, but you would, do all of those things before you save. And that was here when I said pre-fill content. I don't want to pre-fill anything on this one because that wouldn't make sense. And I'm going to do additional notes. And we're going to make this multi-line input. And we are not going to make this required. Okay, so now let's take a look at what this looks like for the customer. I'm going to close this at the top right. And then I want to just view this form page conjuring document. I think it should be the last one. Okay, I have my claim type. I could put my claim number and then my additional notes. Easy as that. Form pages can go even further. You can add a signature field to display the customer's signature on this page. It's dependent on the signature page added to the quote, but and if there's no signature page on the quote, it's not going to appear on the cell added to the form page. So that there has to be a place for the customer to sign on the quote for us to pull the signature in for your form pages. Let me see if there's any questions. Can you add a signature to the form? Yes. So if there's a signature, let's go down. Let's actually show that since we're signature. Once the primary signer has signed the quote, their signature will also appear in this cell. So that is how this works right now. They're not going to sign it separately, but we can pull this signature in. And then another thing we can do is add a little cell next to anything. I just want to have them enter the date here. Let's just have them type it in for the sake of this demo. just so you can see what side by side looks like as well. And let's view this together. So once we sign the quote, the signature will show there and then the date is here. I suggest, since it's going to pull that signature in from the top, maybe having some sort of disclaimer that here that says like you acknowledge that this page is signed filling in this information. And then can you get the sales rep signature in there too? I actually don't know if we can get the sales rep. I did not see that as an option, but I am down to check. I think it's just going to be the primary signer right now. It's a really good idea though. She just added the assignee pre-filled. Okay. Let's go to single line. Okay, that's a great idea. Thank you. And let's add in our assignee. I mean, it's not the signature of the assignee, but I think it's just getting closer. Got it. Okay. You can always reach out to our support team on in the ProPilot in the app and also via email, support at proline.app. And I look forward to seeing you next week.